Okay, all good.
All good? We're all good.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Greater New Haven WPCA Board of Directors meeting. Debbie, would you take the roll call, please?
Joyce Alton? Joyce Alton?
He's there.
Salvatore DeCola?
Present.
Robert Belsigno?
Present.
Raymond Pompano? Stephen Mongillo?
Here.
Russell Sear? Jeffrey Ginsburg?
Don't have Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff is here. I can see him.
Jeff is here?
Yes.
Michael Piniani?
Here.
Russell? Russell Sear?
So who is not in attendance? It's not very clear. Who's not
I
in
don't have
attendance?
Raymond Pompano and Russell Sear.
Russ and Ray are not here.
Oh, somebody's there. Who's this iPhone?
Me, I'm on the iPhone.
Okay,
That's Ray.
thank you, Ray.
Pompano is on.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
All right. Could you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, because it says unmute, and I don't know if I'm unmuted or, but you could hear me now.
Yes.
Okay, then I got to leave it where it is. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so everyone's in attendance but Russ.
Yes, Glenn. All right, Steve.
Okay, we'll move on to the agenda. Item 1, approval of the minutes, May 12th regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
So
I'll
move.
make the motion.
Thanks, Bob. Second?
Second.
Thank you. I'll give everyone a minute to look at them for any omissions, corrections, changes. Does anyone have anything they want to add?
This is Bob. I don't have anything.
I don't have anything either.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Minutes are approved unanimously. Item 2, public participation. Do we have anyone from the public? I guess not. We can move on to item 3. Clayton?
Item number 3, resolved that the write-offs as further described in the exhibit to agenda item number 3 are hereby approved.
Thank you. Someone move this?
So move.
I'll second.
Bob seconded it. Gabe, are you gonna?
Yep, this is the June meeting, last meeting of the fiscal year. We do our write-offs for the year. This year is $59,473 and 53 cents. They're basically all tax foreclosures, some by sale, some strict, City of New Haven. The one that's on the bottom, 15 Russell Street, we actually think we're going to collect some of that money. If you see in red, Renee put in there that were monies to be distributed. We won't get paid all of it, but we hopefully will get some of it. So all the rest of them, the city is in front of us with big liens that we know that there's not going to be much money for us.
Gabe, how come there are 2 Hazel Streets? 2 accounts at 1 address?
Yeah, for some reason there was 2 accounts. I think one was earlier. They're both for the same owner, Clay. I think one was a previous account that got stopped while it was in collections. The same account with a different number got picked up. You see, they have 2 different account numbers.
Right, I saw that.
So we can't collect on either one because the city is foreclosure by sale.
Gabe, how does this compare to last? We do this once a year?
Yeah, we do it every June. I think last year was a little less. I mean, this is still very reasonable. in regards to considering that we bill out, quite a bit of money, $45 million. We do very well on the collections. I mean, we have right now we're laying back on the push to foreclosures with everything else that's going on. And, but between the collection agencies and the collection attorneys and us being a priority lien, we do very well.
Okay. Any other questions from board members? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item 3 carries unanimously. Item 4, Clayton.
Item number 4, resolved that the agreement with Burns Construction, Inc. for cast iron pipe and asbestos cement pipe installation services at the Fairview Pump Station, Forest, Maine, in East Haven, in an amount not to exceed $341,177, as further described in the exhibit to agenda item number 4, is hereby approved, and the executive director, Sidney J. Holbrook, be and hereby is authorized and empowered for and on behalf of the authority to negotiate, execute, and deliver such agreement and any and all reasonable and necessary documents in furtherance thereof.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll move the motion, but I have a question as far as the asbestos pipe being installed.
Yeah, let's just get it moved first. So you're moving it and Joyce is seconding.
Second, yeah.
Okay. And do you want to let Tom talk first, and then maybe he'll answer your question?
Let's clarify the resolution, because it's actually just a description that's in the number 4 as part of the resolution. It says pipe installing. It's actually, that's the pipe we're replacing. So if you read Tom's letter where it goes in and says that we're replacing the two materials of the pipe. We're not installing any asbestos pipe.
That was your question, Mike?
Yep, that was it. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I had the same question, so it is a replacement.
Where is this pump station?
Down there, Brazos Road.
Okay.
Is Tom on?
Oh, this is Bob Felsig. No, it's down near Brazos Road.
Okay, got it.
Sorry, guys, I had trouble getting on. Apologize.
Okay. Yeah, Tom, can you just, say something about this? It's moved and it's on the table.
Number 4, Tommy.
I don't think he can
Yeah,
hear
this
you.
is the Farview. Yeah, I can hear you fine. It's a Farview pump station. I was trying to get the screen share to work, but it doesn't seem to be working. Disabled. I could actually show you a picture of it, but we worked on the force main last year. We had a failure on it. We replaced 850 feet of pipe. This is for, we called it phase 2. We budgeted for this. We're replacing another 600, or actually it was 725 feet of pipe. We had 4 bidders on this. We put it out to bid. We designed it in-house.
Tom,
Burns Construction.
Tom,
Yeah.
try your share again.
What was that?
Try your screen share again.
Okay.
All right. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Can you talk to you? Tom, are you there?
Can you guys see this?
We can see it.
Yep.
Okay, so this is the beach club here.
Tom, can you click on your thumbnail, which page? Always.
Everyone able to see this?
No.
Just,
So this is off Silver Sands, going to the
Right.
beach club,
Yes.
and it goes into Morgan Point. Am I right?
Cut it up.
No, that's the one on beach. But yeah, I know where it is because I went looking for it, and I had a tough time because I put on my GPS and Fairview Street kept showing, road kept showing me the street in New Haven. And I finally had to do it on my iPhone, and my iPhone got me there today, you know? Because every time I put in Fairview, it wouldn't get me to the road. It got me to the avenue, which was New Haven.
This is the only one we're not seeing.
I don't think I'm seeing what I'm supposed to.
Oh, you
If
know what?
you, if,
All right, one
this
second.
is Bob. This is Bob. If you go down Cozy Beach Road, there's a
Right.
set of apartments. The first road is Brazos. The next one is Fairview. It goes all the way down to the end, right to the beach, the Cozy Beach Road.
There it is.
There it is, okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, so the pump station is located in this location right here.
Mhm.
This location here.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, we replaced this part of the force main about to this location here. Okay? And now we're gonna replace the remaining portion from this point all the way over to the building. As you can see here, Silver Sands Road. We go through a private residence here. The red line is a parallel gravity sewer that we just lined. We added this lining to the large diameter sewer lining and that in situ form line it in preparation for this project. So we will be replacing the force main, which is this orange line here from approximately this location where my cursor is, all the way through the property to the back here. And we're actually digging and replacing. This is not lining. This is actually digging and replacing with PVC SDR21. We received 3 bids. Or we received 4 bids: Burns Construction, Fucci, CJ Fucci, Layden Industries, and JJ Brennan. Burns Construction was the low bidder at $310,000. The next low bidder was CJ Fucci at $380,000, and then it was $420,000, and then $570,000. The numbers, I mean, there was a little bit of money left on the table there, but I felt pretty good about the numbers because Burns Construction and Layden, their actually cost to put the pipe in the ground was exactly the same. So the difference in price between Burns and the second bidder, Fucci, I had it in the mobilization price and the actual pipe price. So that was the difference. So I think Burns Construction does some repair work for us. They're actually really equipped to do force main work. They do a lot of stuff for the water company and the gas company. They're used to shallow digging production work, and this is perfect for them because this isn't a very, it's not a very deep pipe. I think they'll do a fine job.
This is Steve. What determines whether we do some lining or replace the pipe?
Yeah, in this case, the most of the time lining works out really well when you're in the city street and you're deep, because you have to deal with utilities and trench shoring and all that. I mean, this will still have obviously trench shoring, but it'll be a box that'll be pulled along. It's fairly shallow, and it's because of the type of pipe it is, the fact that there was very limited access to the pipe, and it takes bends. It was not, we did consider lining it, but it was not conducive to it because we wouldn't know what the condition was until we put the whole thing, until we bypassed the, put our bypass in place and investigate it. It just isn't worth the time and effort to do that. We'd have to have the bypass up and running. We'd have to do an investigation, determine what the actual diameter is, order the materials. All this time you'd have to have the bypass running. So this was not a good candidate for lining.
Okay. And is this, will this pipe be underwater in the groundwater at times?
It's right on the border. Now, I think what we found is when we did the other part is when you had peak high tide, yeah, there was water in the trench, but they actually could manage it. So it's not, the construction's not impacted significantly from the tide. I'm not saying that they won't have to deal with it a little bit, but it's not, it won't stop them from working.
But in terms of making sure that the pipe has integrity too, if it's going to be challenged with water from the outside, it's better that it's a new pipe.
Yeah, no, and it's going to be bedded properly and have our, we designed the bedding detail for it, so we're not concerned with that.
Okay.
We should be in good shape.
Tom, this is Ray Pompano. Is there a sunset date on this when it should be done?
We're going to do it right. We're all set up to do it. The contractor's ready to go to work. We're waiting for the budget to have some budget money. So we're going to wait. We're going to execute. We'll start putting the contract together. It usually takes us a couple of weeks to do that with insurance and bonds and all that, getting the package together, and we'll be ready to go on July 15th.
And how long you think until it's complete from that?
2 months. I don't think it's good. That's what we have allotted. We actually have 3 months allotted, but I really don't think the contract, it's going to take that long to do. That's kind of what we've been telling the residents there.
Sure. So by the end of September, for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
I think that's what we have. July, August, and September we have targeted. I think we have a 90-day or 100-day contract, but we'll be, I'm pretty confident that we'll knock it out optimistically in like 8 weeks.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom, is this going to impact a personal residence?
Yeah, yes, we've sat with them several times. They'll have access to their garage and be able to use their driveway at night all the time. They'll never not have access to their garage. During the day while they're working in the area of their property, we're going to make a temporary parking area in the front of their property. And then afterwards, we're going to restore everything to like or better condition.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
We've also coordinated with the building owner behind it too. We're working with them. We're on, obviously we're on 2 easements, one for the building behind it and then one for the resident there. We have an allowance for landscaping and restoring the driveway.
Will you have to shut down the road for any length of time? The main road?
We'll have to get a DOT permit for that. It's a DOT road, and yeah, there'll be. No, I don't think we'll have to shut it down per se. We're gonna have. There'll be times when we have to put the bypass in, and so you know we're gonna be staging, working around work, but the road will never be shut down per se. The Farview Road will be shut down during the day. We'll probably use a Bezo Road as a detour.
Okay.
We could, yeah.
Any other questions for Tom? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 5, Clay.
Hold on. Item number 5, resolved that the agreement with Institute Form Technologies LLC for CIPP lining installation services for the Whitney Avenue 30-inch pressure sewer in Hamden in an amount not to exceed $57,475, as further described in the exhibit to agenda item number 5, is hereby approved, and the executive director, Sidney J. Holbrook, be and hereby is authorized and empowered for and on behalf of the authority to negotiate, execute, and to deliver such agreement and any and all reasonable and necessary documents in furtherance thereof.
Thank you. Is there a motion on this?
I'll make a motion for you, Steve.
Bob, thank you. Second?
Joyce,
Joyce, seconded. Tom, again?
Hey, everybody see their screen?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're in New Haven now.
Hold-
We're in,
Hold on a second, Ernie's working on it.
oh, okay.
Try it again, Tom.
Tom, try it again.
Tom, there you go.
You got it now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, we're up in Hamden. This is the Whitney Reservoir. You're familiar with that?
Yep.
Okay. This is the bottom of the hill below the dam over here, the bottom of the hill. I'm gonna blow it up now so, you know. This red line here, this green line right here is a 48-inch gravity sewer that comes down out of New Haven. It goes into a 30-inch, what we call pressure sewer, which is essentially a straw. If you poured water into a straw and you bent it up like a U, you poured water in one end and it would come out the other end. Is essentially what we have here is pressure sewer. So the sewage comes into the beginning of the pressure sewer here, and then it exits on the park. Way down here, okay? Number of years ago, back in probably 2007, 8, maybe 9, we lined this part of the pressure sewer, the tail end of it, downstream end, and the downstream gravity sewer because of hydrogen sulfide corrosion. Recently, we had a failure at the very end. I say very end. We had a report of settlement or a hole developed off the edge of the road in the grass. We investigated and found out that the pressure sewer had a hole in the top of it, and so we secured the area and we began procuring a method to fix this. So the method we came up with was we're going to actually isolate this area here, a 225-foot section of this pressure sewer. We're going to put a line stop in, and we're going to do it through emergency contract. We're using Layden Industries to do that work. To put a line stop in, and they're going to put an access manhole there so that we can, it's not a manhole, an access tap, so that we can bypass the flow from the gravity sewer around the bad portion of the pipe. Once the pipe is full, like in the pressure sewer, the pipe's in great condition. It's where it transitions from the gravity to the pressure sewer is where we have all the problems. So once that line stop's installed, we're going to have In-Situ-Form come in and line that segment of pipe. And that's what this money is for, is just to do that lining portion. We used In-Situ-Form because we had them under contract in the large diameter, but since this was separate and distinct, we asked for them for prices. The prices was reasonable and consistent with what we've seen in their the pricing for their previous contract. And we are able to order the materials. We had them order the materials. So this is kind of approval in arrears. They didn't gave because it was an emergency, allowed us to move forward with the order of materials. And so right now what's happening is Layden Industries is getting a DOT permit. We're going to be closing a lane out there. If you drive by there, actually probably today, there's going to be a lane closure. And we're going to start work on on making these access points to do this lining work. The work for Layden is probably going to be between $300,000 and $400,000. That's budgeted out of our emergency contract that you guys budget every year. And I've worked with the department. We're shifting monies around within the capital budget to handle these emergencies out of reserves.
This is Steve. The access and the pipe there, is that in a right of way or is that on water company property there just before the dam?
It's in the DOT right away off the edge of the shoulder.
Okay.
my understanding, the road used to follow the reservoir. I guess it used to follow where the gravity, this green line here is the gravity sewer, is our gravity line. And I guess the road used to follow through that.
Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of a green area there up to a little curve in there.
Yeah.
Do you know, out of curiosity, is there a water main coming down the other side of Whitney Avenue?
There's a large water main that crosses us just downstream of where we're working. Matter of fact, the pressure sewer is concrete encased over the top of the water main. I don't know the exact configuration, but yes, there's a large water main over there.
Okay. Does anyone else have a question to Tom? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Clayton, item 6.
Got to get to it. Okay, item number 6, resolve that the department budget transfer requests as described in exhibit to agenda item number 6 are hereby approved.
Thanks. Do I have a motion?
I move.
Who's that?
Mike.
Mike, a second?
I'll second.
Good for you.
Bob seconds. And Gabe.
Yep, these are 2 transfers, end of the fiscal year, as we wrap up our budget. The first one is for $350,000. It's coming from the waste and ash disposal and other contractual services, and both of those monies for a total of $350 is moving into the nitrogen credit program. That's part of our payment for the nitrogen. Nitrogen was impacted in regards to heavy loadings from the discharger that's not in the system anymore. The DEP kicked them out of the system. And then the second transfer is $17,500. That's from other contractual services, and this is to the grease disposal. We had higher than expected volumes of grease during the fiscal year, and we have a cost sharing agreement. So even though we're paying out $17,500, we collected double that in the revenue side. So this is Synagro's share of the grease disposal revenue.
Gabe, this is Steve. Are we where we thought we'd be with the nitrogen credit program?
We did anticipate, we thought we would be a little lower than that, Steve. Gary can address that. It was really had to do with that high volume discharger that was really messing up the process and some other weather related issues. But we didn't think that we would be this high, but we did anticipate having to buy credits.
Yeah, I think if you look last year, the spring was a very wet year. That complicated the issues. We always have a hard time during the transition back to warmer weather. It took a lot longer. We had that issue with American Green Fuels. DEP has issued them an administrative order. We've added our penalties into their, calculation there. So that'll take a long time though to get resolved on that end. We came around July. We were doing 4,000 pound a month daily averages for the beginning of the year, and then right after that we went down into the under 1,000 and in the 300 to 800 pound range. So we got our process back. We're doing really well. This winter we went through the winter. We've maintained nitrification, so we're starting off really strong, whereas last year we had lost it and took a couple months to get that back. So we're starting off in a much better shape. We had brought in a consultant. We went over some of our process control things to improve that process. So we should be doing better going into the future. Weather's always the wild card into that though.
Steve, just to make you aware, we actually did collect hundreds of thousands of dollars from the discharger as well as part of their heavy strength charges.
Okay, I'm looking at the 12-month rolling average compared to the permit level, and it really doesn't look that bad overall.
Yeah, one thing on that sheet, the 12-month rolling average, it's a 12-month. It doesn't correspond to the credit trading is based on the calendar year. So that's kind of a rolling average. And what it's really getting here now is you're seeing that last half of last year, which was really good, and then maintaining into this year. What you don't see on that sheet are those first 6 months of 2019, where we had some 3,000 and 4,000 pound months.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Any other questions of Gabe or Gary? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Item carries unanimously. Item 7, Clayton.
Resolved that funds in the authority's unrestricted cash reserve in the aggregate amount of $13,947,324 are hereby restricted and designated to be used for the approved capital projects further described in the exhibit to agenda item number 7.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay. And second?